Don't go yet.
We already are. Seriously?
Well, I don't. Something was missing.
We're live.
Much better.
Here you go.
Hi, I'm ready. Welcome to Cut and Uncut with Daphne and Bonnie Violet. My name is Daphne and I'm cut.
And I'm Bonnie Violet and I'm uncut. Uncut. Here we talk about all things trans.
And then some.
In this episode, it'll be a 3-for-1. We'll be reacting to Ren's Sick Boy, Seven Sins, and Chalk Outline with Chinchilla. Oops.
We would also like to give a big thanks and a huge shout out to our Patreon members, Skylar Bean, Jacob Blankenship, Elizabeth, Danielle Loyal, Bertha D, hugs and kisses. Yeah, that's it.
Right. And watch us on YouTube, listen to us on Spotify, join us on Patreon, follow us on TikTok, and get that merch. My fingers are
I got mine.
Girl, we're struggling.
We just did a practice run. Then we got into some talks, and botched it all up. But we're here, so thank you for joining us, everybody that's going to be joining us with us, joining us now. So Bonnie, I know we talked about this, but I'm going to put you on the spot again.
Mm-hmm.
The sun is setting here. I had an amazing eclipse day. I got to sit in my house and watch it from across the world, from Dallas all the way over to the East Coast.
You saw all that out your window?
I saw all that from my living room. I'm telling you, and I'm safe, and I didn't need any glasses.
Oh, so you looked just outside your window?
No, I looked outside my TV. I didn't even go.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have to spend $7 on some glasses and risk the world ending, according to TikTok. So.
Right. I know. There's lots of crazy about it, but yeah, and I've just chosen to not do anything with it.
I respect that. I respect.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So we have some Ren again. Is that what we're doing?
Okay. Some Ren again. Ren reactions. Yes, we have 3 today. So they're, that we have 3.
Yeah.
I did select, these are ones that were, suggested by our listeners, of course. These ones are suggested a while back because, we popped in and tried to do a newer one last week. And so I tried to pick 3 that were kind of along the same vein of stuff. I think it's a little bit more like kind of back to the original video that we did with Hi Ren and Jenny. Definitely a lot more like maybe emo and like dealing with hard topics and that sort of thing. So
yeah.
So you're ready for that, right?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I didn't fall in love with Ren until I seen his diverse side. He had all the other kind of things going on. And I think that's where he captured my heart. So if this is going into a different vein, I'm super excited. And we also want to invite all of our members to keep giving us ideas to have some reactions to, because we're really enjoying this. And I certainly am becoming a renegade.
Renegade, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. These will be all your favorite songs again, right?
Yeah. So the first one is who? Sin Boy?
So this one's called Sick Boy.
Oh.
Which is the name of the album as well. His most recent album is called Sick Boy. And, because he's a sick boy, right? With his Lyme disease and everything. So
and Rude Boys.
Yes. So we ready?
Roll that tape.
Roll it.
Hi Ren, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for seeing me.
Looking at your file here, it seems there's a very apparent interplay with your emotional state and your physical body. Have you ever heard of the trauma response?
I don't think so.
Basically, our bodies can get stuck in a negative feedback loop. Our subconscious can repeat patterns from the past, which can have a pretty drastic downstream effect on our biology. Essentially, your mind is making you sick.
What did she say?
Exactly. Does it remind you of like going to therapy?
Well, the beat is on point. I'm like, hey, you know what I mean? And then she goes on. I'm like, wait, what did you, what? Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, she's basically just kind of doing like the beginning of an intake of like a mental health appointment. Okay. So but that's the whole thing. It's very like disconnected, you know? She just like saying her script or whatever.
Okay.
All right, let me go back a little ways.
Can repeat patterns from the past, which can have a pretty drastic downstream effect in our biology. Essentially, your mind is making you sick.
Sick boy, bitten by a tick boy, looking for that fix boy, anabolic steroids, stem cell, poster boy, pass out, white noise, quick fix, snake oil, I'm about to break boy. Oh, what a shame, he's in pain, have another go, take another pill, here, take a couple more, let's see how you're doing in another week or so, you'll be feeling worse when the side effects will show, derealization, medical patient, losing patience with the process, walking hand in hand with Satan, complications with the medication, inflammation, dehydration, inhalation, aggravation, building up a toleration, drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown, I've been feeling like I'm drowning with my feet upon the ground, I've been screaming, I've been shouting, but I never make a sound, I've been looking for a way out, but I always seem to drown.
Well, thank you, Danielle Loyal. That is our Patreon member, Danielle. Hey, thank you for joining us. Yeah, my comments exactly. That is intense, from the psych ward, if that's what that is, or an intake room, to his rapping, which I can't even kind of get yet.
Yeah.
So go on, Bonnie.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's definitely like, so, you know, he has Lyme disease. And so he talks about that in the beginning when he said, boy, getting bit by a tick boy or whatever, is kind of like how he became the sick boy. But part of his symptoms of Lyme disease was psychosis. And so then he started having basically kind of a mental break. As a side effect to, I guess, I don't know if side effect is the right word, but as a symptom to the Lyme disease. So this was before he was actually diagnosed with it, when they were still trying to figure out like what was really going on with him. So, and then she's like super uncompassionate. She's just like, oh yeah, you're sick. You know, like, here's some pills, like go away. I think it's also kind of a little critique on the mental health system and kind of like how therapists can potentially approach people, maybe a way not to do it. Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going so I can try and catch any of what you just said.
Right.
I've been feeling like I'm drowning with my feet upon the ground, I've been screaming, I've been shouting, but I never make a sound, I've been looking for a way out, but I always seem to drown.
Is this all making sense, Ren?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. What I propose we do is we try to pinpoint the exact experiences from the past that are keeping you stuck. What can you tell me about your childhood?
I can't really think.
It's okay if nothing comes up right away. What I'd like you to do is take some deep breaths with me. In and out. In and out. Good. Now tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
I feel like it's not me, it's the world that's sick. We're given everything we need and we commoditize it. We consume, we destroy like we're parasitic. Science tells us that it's suicide and still we commit. I'm not sick, we are sick. We are standing on a cliff in the name of progress. We jump off the precipice. I'm not sick, I'm the virus, you're the virus, hypocrite. How can you sit there with that smile on and tell me that I'm sick? Sick boy, looking for a fix boy. Push it down in public, quick pose for the pick boy. Record label meetings that commodify your gift boy. Why you so upset? Don't you wanna be a rich boy? Fuck no, industry is cutthroat. I've been doing bits by myself, swimming backstroke, walking on a tightrope, rapping with a slit throat. The way that we persist is like the ending of a bad joke. As the people evolve, we're complacent to assailants and we do what we're told. Counterintelligence, a sight to behold. Rape the earth of all resources and we bleed it for gold. And we bleed it for wealth, we bleed it for fame. But when you bleed it, can you tell me what the fuck will remain? And I bleed in myself, I bleed in my brain. While I'm bleeding, I'm the reason, cause I'm doing the same.
Did you just Bless yourself.
Yes, I had to, because that was coming through him. I was like, no, get back, Satan, because
It was a
that
lot.
was a bit intense. Like Danielle Loyal commented, that was intense. The pig and the blood, and I kind of got a little bit of how he was saying industry was not really important. They were trying to force it down his throat, and he was like, no, I'm the virus, you're the virus. And I'm like, okay, so I'm understanding that part of it, but as the therapist turns into this pig with all this blood, I'm like, help me, Bonnie.
Yeah, well, you know, like we've watched a few of his stuff, and there's been pigs, right? Like there's been some, like you've seen the pig before, right? And so like it's a common occurrence. I think oftentimes it's kind of, at least from my feeling, it's kind of like his representation of the world and how we're kind of over consumption and like just kind of like our like sickness as a world. And so like I think that's a lot of his critique is like when he says, you know, I'm not the one that's sick, the world's sick. And I think I believe that wholeheartedly. I think if you are not mentally like unwell or depressed or struggling with the state of the world, then you're not alive. You know what I mean? I think you're living in some sort of delusion, because to not be in some sort of, I guess, state
To go with the flow, like
exactly,
in the
like
Matrix.
Yeah, I mean, part of it is just like trying to figure out how to cope with life. Like, how do we cope with life, you know? And maybe there's more medications, and there's like, you know, like everybody wants to go like, well, what about your childhood? What do you think about that? So,
Where did that go? Take your time. We can get back to that one. And then he starts flipping the tables. And now that to me is a sign of unwellness. I mean,
well,
we can
but
talk about this calmly, but that part of it.
Yeah, but I think there's an element of like, I think it's a violent thing, the way that the world comes at us. And so, of course, we're the only way, like, I think there's an anger, there's a frustration, there's a violence that kind of has to come in response to what is happening or what has happened. You know what I mean? And so I think I think the way that he performs it or sings it, the music, everything really, I think speaks to that, like, that guttural, deep kind of like frustration and anger, maybe even like depression about life, and just being frustrated with knowing how to get out of it well, if that makes sense.
I would say that for me, I thought it was a little violent. I think the music is just as violent. I think the video totally can put you in a mental violence state. I mean, within me, I was like, you know, I had to go like this, because child,
right?
Like, you know what I mean? That's not something that you normally would see. And well, we've seen worse in videos, but if that's what Ren wanted to get across, it got there, because I was actually feeling that within that video. I could totally relate to that, because those are the emotions that I felt. So what did you think?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely related to it. There's been times in my life when like I'm just frustrated and trying to go get help from people and they're not helpful, and just being really frustrated because it's like I want to do something, but I don't know what to do, or like I can't even, like, I just can't do it, whatever, you know what I mean? So I definitely connected a lot with that anger and frustration, and the violence was in Jenny's and Screech's tale as well too. You know, there was some violent moments in that as well. And you felt it. Like you were like, you felt
that
it.
That was different kind of violence. That was a more heartfelt, sad, you know, like, oh my God, did he, you know, that was like an alarming, like, oh my God, what did he just do? And then it was a sad violence. This is more of a,
no, there's like a physical violence, like the way that he like, you know, Violet gets assaulted. They talk about that. I mean, it talks about like domestic violence, and sexual assault, and murder, and robbery, you know, armed robbery, and like the police. Like, what's more violent than all of that, you know?
And I can relate to some points, like when I try to get my point across sometimes at work, and it feels like I'm not being heard and I'm trying to come across and explain something, but they're just against like, no, that's not, that's not normal. We're not going to go that way, or we don't understand where you're trying. It can get frustrating when you want to make a point or you're trying to reach something and it just doesn't get through. Then I can totally feel where the frustration comes in.
Yeah. Especially when you don't really know what's wrong. Like sometimes that's when a diagnosis can be helpful, because I know he went years without getting a diagnosis. Sometimes just getting a diagnosis, though, it's not great to be like, oh great, now I have this thing, but at least you know what it is, and so you can begin to have a strategy around it, so there's not so you can feel like you have a little bit more power in the powerlessness of it all, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I am going to say
not your favorite.
I'm not going to download this one.
Right. Yeah, like this is one that you need
I might have to sleep with the lights on after that video.
I'm like, so is this one that you like vape afterwards or like break?
Yeah, no, this is the one that you sleep with the lights on and you pull the covers. Oh yeah. And when you hear that sound, like, who that's it?
Yeah, and I will say though,
bad dreams.
Well, and I think one of the things that's different about this with Ren is that he lets you stay in that state. I think a lot of the other music, it kind of is able to wrap it up in a way that feels like it ends in a better place, I guess. Whereas I felt this when it just left in that like,
yeah. And you can definitely, and like I said, I definitely felt the emotion that was going behind that. So if there was an emotion that was supposed to be triggered with that video, I definitely felt it. So that was a true reaction.
Yes. Well, and the next one is going to be, I don't know. We'll see how you take it, but this actually is a lyrical video. So this is just lyrics with the music. So it'd probably be one way you can actually know what he's singing, because I know you sometimes have a hard time understanding him. So it does the lyrics. It is pretty quick. It's called SiNS. So there is kind of a little bit of that, religious undertone or spirituality. So
grace for this one, Bonnie.
Yeah, you can do your little
pearls.
your little thing. I don't know. I wasn't Catholic, so I know there's a certain order or whatever, but all right, you ready?
Roll that tape.
Okay, that was just a spell that was cast, and now I'm just joking.
No, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was. Now you done put some hoodoo on me.
I know it has that vibe to it, but it's actually it's Welsh. It's it's part of his ancestry language. And so basically it's kind of like to me, I feel like it's almost kind of like what would have been said on your stone. Like, because the last statement is something about laying you to rest, or like, so I think it's something along those lines.
Well, I would like to have our subscribers put in there, all of our subscribers, that if you understand Welsh, you have been so great helping us understand some of these videos. And, I'm a disco queen, and Ren's taking me in a whole nother direction. So please give us some feedback on this video, SiNS, because, I don't speak Welsh.
No, I think it was a really great choice. Because it does, like, when you're not familiar with a language, you oftentimes will like equate it, I think, to like, I don't know, demons or some
There's
sort
a
of
whole coffin on there. Isn't that a gravestone?
Yeah, but that's because part of the words is about like I said, I think it's about like him being sick and then at the end of his life or something like that. I heard somebody say exactly what it was, and I told myself I would look it up and have it ready, and I didn't.
I need my friend Carrie when she sign on, so she
can
out here.
We'll find it in the comments for sure. We ready? I'm gonna start it from the beginning.
Oh, that's not the end of it? Okay.
broken on the kitchen floor. I clawed at the laminate. Pain wandered my body, an uninvited guest. Bones of a home where the devil could rest. I cursed the gods, cursed my messiah, cursed my maker. I cursed all of creation. There I lay, feeble and thin. Sick boy, 7 I say. Have you ever felt pain? Stomach wrenching, unrelenting. Tell me, have you ever felt pain? Condescending, muscles clenching. Tell me, have you ever felt pain? A rose emerges from the pavement cracks. They'll write my eulogy with broken glass. Eternal parallax.
Pain.
Am I stopping it too much?
No, I think I'm like Alice. I just fell down the rabbit hole because thank God for the words so I could follow along. But yeah, the music is what is the word? I want to say it's vintage music. I'm going to say it makes me think almost European medieval. I wouldn't say back. It gives me that feeling. There's a lot of violin. Is that what you think?
I understand what you're talking about, and I think that's kind of like old religion. It's even SiNS, so it kind of makes you think of all that sort of crap.
Old England.
Yeah, and basically he's just like on the floor in so much pain and just basically cussing at God, like why?
He's talking about cursing the Lord and everything, child.
Well, we've all been there, like crying in the bottom of the shower, screaming at God. You've never done that? We all do that, right?
I've never cursed God, child.
No, I mean, I know I've been frustrated and scream, like been upset with God for sure, or more, even if it's just in a state of like wondering like why is this happening, because and being more frustrated with that than like I don't know. I think it's how about folks in the comments or that you come across this, do you have you ever cussed out God? I know I have. I don't even know what God or
I better not be saying it on August 8th on the eclipse.
I know, right? Well, wasn't the rapture supposed to happen today?
I told you they say it's supposed to be 8 days after. I don't know, child.
We might not even be able to finish this reaction. We might just disappear as you freeze.
Well, I might rapture. I don't know about you, sweet. Talking about some you cursing God, Lord.
Right. Well, enough of that. let's go back a little bit.
A rose emerges from the pavement cracks. They'll write my eulogy with broken glass. Eternal parallax.
Pain.
Pain the author, I accept this. Pain the teacher, bruised apprentice. Pain resisting, pain will come. Pain the mother, I'm the son. Pain that splits you, and too many hits you. The dark and the light will converge to one. Pain that twists you, the heavens dismiss you. The Father, the Ghost, and the Holy Son. Body bagging me. Zip it up quick, get their things on B. I search for peace in the belly of a beast. Sick boy, on a matapia. Running up a fever, following a leader. Wanna be me, huh? Grass isn't greener. Bright light seizure, dynamite dealer. Dine at the table of the coroner, E-top for 13 years and I've been feeling so stuck. Lucky number 13, just my luck. Empires tumble, rubble and dust. The universe shrinks and the planets combust. In God we trust. God tied a noose to his neck and he walked to the edge and he jumped. Angels wept.
I love
He's worse than Beyonce stuffing her menzies with the Bible.
No, I mean,
where is these children? This is why I stick to disco.
Right. I think it's great. I mean, I think now in the beginning of this, when it first started, it was back to that level of accepting, like, okay, like I'm in this pain is happening. What am I supposed to learn? Like, like we often learn from pain. Like pain is a touchstone to change oftentimes. And so I think there's an element of him accepting it and recognizing like, okay, fine, God, like I'm in pain or whatever.
Bonnie, it's fine, God. You can go hang yourself. I'm gonna go over here to the dark side of the bridge. And I'm done with that over there. All this light is not working.
What is the fridge?
I'm gonna hold on. That's what I'm hearing, unless my mind is tripping, because that's what I'm thinking homeboy is saying over here, making me be like, Lord, Bonnie.
No, I mean,
down Illuminati.
oh no, I don't, I guess I don't see it that way. I just see him as like accepting it and being like, okay, fine, let's like bring it on. Like, you know what I mean?
The father, the little zombies, a whole bunch, and I'm definitely afraid of zombies. He put me in a whole apocalypse in like 3 minutes.
Right. I'm digging it.
Of course you are.
I love the pace. I love the references. I'm excited about it.
Team does my lot. Empires tumble, rubble and dust. The universe shrinks and the planets combust. In God we trust. God tied a noose to his neck and he walked to the edge and he jumped. Angels wept, I bear witness, watching the whole thing unfold from my bed. A bed where I never deep rest, a bed where I'm always depressed, a bed with the human oppressed, a bed for a tomb where I slept, a bed in the room that's a womb for this mess. Sick boy bitten by a tick boy, tell me how it feels to be buried while you breathe. Stones and sticks boy, pain is a gift boy, hard to make a stand when you crawl on your knees. And I kneel,
and I kneel. Still,
this is getting me now. I want to see what he kneeled
at the altar of my own disease and I beg the sky for mercy. Mercy never came. I dipped me dirty, 33 and hurting, cursing. Jesus died at 33 and still my sins are lurking. Gears are turning, future stays uncertain. Surgeon incision, murder ambition. Fear of the unknown preserves a religion. Denounced the gods when my body went missing. Back then, the pain spray ricochet like a Mac 10. Hot lead hit the bed that was trapped in. Red wings, seraphim out of God's grace. Cried tears from heaven like Clapton. Stick pins in the voodoo Hendrix. Thick skin, stay humble Kendrick. Stay skeptic, check the biometrics. Bloodstain, crime scene, forensic. Lights on, lights on.
You're shaking your head.
What happened to that child?
What?
That child is angry.
Well, he's sick. He was stuck in a bed.
He's definitely sick. It's super intense, and I'm probably gonna get kicked out of the Renegades because I'm a little scared here. Like, I hope that he, like, my thoughts, my intuition, like, did he find salvation in the dark side, or how did he pull through this? Because I'm not seeing him say he reached, like, God comforted him or nothing. All I'm hearing is like 33 ain't, whack this, and the angels got whacked, and I'm like, what?
No, I mean, I'm absolutely loving it. Carrie says, "Oh my God, LOL."
Carrie, oh my God, help me, Carrie.
I'm loving every minute. I find it very relatable.
Took me to the dark side.
Oh, come on. This is probably one of my favorites of his.
Of course it is.
Just, I mean, I'm like, I love religious, like, shit and things like that. And I just love it. I love the sound. I love that it's like talking about the pain and, like, I've dealt with illness. I've learned a lot from it. Carrie says it's his faith dying. See?
Thank God for you, Carrie. That's why I know when you come in, you always help me through this. This is why I need my subscribers, because without y'all, Bonnie will help me.
And David says, illness is my teacher. It broke my smile. My bones feel old. Here lies the body of Ren.
So decipher that for me, David. Is he saying that his spirit is dead now? Or his spirit?
No, in the beginning, that language in the beginning, that's what it says.
Right.
Illness
my bones feel old. Here lies the body of Ren.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need that to be broken down just a little bit more for me, because, I'm thinking that the man is like, okay, my spirit and faith has died. And I think
there's the fighting of it. He said, illness is my teacher. It broke my smile. So, it's like, how life happens. Like, you're living life and life is great and you're just enjoying it. And then bam, life happens and it takes you out of everything. And I think that's what this is expressing and helping. I think it helps. I don't know. It helps me not feel isolated in having those feelings and that frustration. Carrie says, however, his faith is renewed through other songs.
Praise the Lord. Won't he do it, child? Won't he do it, Carrie? Won't he do it?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's good. I think it's good to question God. I think it's good to get angry at God. I think sometimes those things have to happen for me in order to really to be honest with how I'm feeling and how I'm thinking. And once I can be honest about that stuff, you put the light to the dark, you have to shed light on the dark things in order for them to be better, Joanna says,
hey, Joanna,
we were never promised heaven on earth. The life is a test. It isn't supposed to be easy. Adam and Eve got easy and ruined it for the rest of us. Those bitches.
What's going on?
Right?
What is going on, world?
Well, I mean, depending on what you believe, yeah, right?
Boy, these renegades are something else out here today, Lord.
Right. I don't know. I feel less secure about knowing what happens after this life. Yeah. And so for me, I really want to try to do what I can to make heaven on earth, even if it wasn't promised. Because I feel like that's my drive while I'm living.
But Bonnie, I've never seen you draw a picture and cross out X's on the cute little doll.
Oh, do you want to see my diary?
Do
you want to see the stuffed animal I sleep with?
Yeah. Is the head ripped off?
Joanna says, right, I got mad at those two always. Yes.
Right. Really hard shit and extremely vulnerable level. Yes, Carrie. I do agree. Sometimes the world can get very difficult and very and Carrie says, right, Bonnie. I do agree that the world can get very hard and intense, and that we all need a way to go through this, whatever method we need, whatever tools we can use to hold on to our sanity in whatever little bit of it that we have. But it seemed like baby lost all his and said lights out right here.
Sometimes
it says it right there.
I think he's just expressing the powerless of the moment, and that's our humanity.
Okay. Is there more to this?
Yes. And Danielle says, I love it. He's talented. He's a talented poet, and you can feel the emotion in his story, and his beats musically connect the lyrics. Yep. 100.
Okay, Danielle. I think that's great. I didn't know that about you, but okay. That's nice to know that you're connecting to the dark side.
I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised at what is it about you that's so scary? What is it that's so scary to you?
Well, I've had difficult times in my life. Maybe I got rose-colored glasses on, and I have faith in humanity and the world, and that we're all going to sing Kumbaya at the end of days. That's just me. That's how I've always looked at things, even in my darkest points. I've gotten beat up, and, I've been, what's the word I want to say? Assaulted in New York when I lived in New York. Two dudes jumped me, beat the hell out of me, broke my nose. You know what I mean? Totally gay bashed me or whatever have you. And to this day, and I knew his family. I was upstairs hanging out with this kid's family. We lived in the same building. I guess he got some stuff into him and whatever. I even dropped the charges on him because I didn't want to see a young man that had so much hate and disrespect for someone like me, who had the power to put him behind bars. I chose not to because I believe that there can be a change. Yes, Carrie girl, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, well, and
I didn't press charges against him because I believe that people sometimes don't know how to,
Well, violence is transmitted, so that violence was put into him, and then if you don't transform that pain, you will transmit it, and so that's I don't necessarily believe in I think the idea that you didn't press charges and you dealt with it in a different way. To me personally, I feel like that's a better way. I don't think our criminal system, I don't know. I just don't think that.
Well, the state picked him back up.
But I don't think that would have helped. I don't think. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that would have that wouldn't have been healing, potentially healing. Maybe your forgiveness.
Healing for me.
Yeah. But I mean, for him, in you doing this, actually, maybe, you know, forgiveness, that sort of thing, I think maybe would have more impact on him than getting thrown in jail or having to pay some fines or something.
Yeah, I don't believe in hate. I believe that even though it is there, I don't have to accept it in my heart, because I could have been a crazy bitch, like, oh, finna all my homies and we finna go over here and we finna knock some shit out. But I chose not to do that. Yeah,
well, and I think the whole Jenny and like spoiler alert, like I think the whole thing about Jenny and Screech and all that is all about this idea of violence and generational violence and how it just gets transmitted from one to the other. And until somebody breaks the cycle, it's just going to continue on and on.
Preach on, sister. Okay.
Danielle says to me, he has a similar in his lyrical expression to Eminem. Yeah. Some people have said that even in his little mind and High Ren, he mentioned that as well.
Cute? He's so cute.
Yep. And then Carrie says, however, some people experience dark self-hate. Yes.
Yeah.
And hurt people hurt people.
And I think that a lot too.
I think healed
one of these for that one.
Right. But healed people
hurt people, Carrie. That's true.
Healed people heal people too.
I like that too, Bonnie. I'm gonna give you one, girl.
Anywho, we need to get back to the music, I think.
Okay, let's go. Okay.
But here we go.
We got one more to go too, right?
Yeah. Oops. Here we go.
Fame out of God's grace, cry tears from heaven like clapping. Stick pins in the voodoo Hendrix. Thick skin, stay humble Kendrick. Stay skeptic, check the biometrics. Bloodstain, crime scene, forensic. Lights on, lights out. Fade into the background. So down. Running from the silhouette of self-doubt. By now. Really should have figured this shit out. Lights on, lights out. Smackdown. Let it be. Quote John Lennon. Click clack, John got shot for attention. What does that tell you about the good of intentions? Bitterness formed in a storm of aggression. Prophets get dropped, imagining heaven. Martin Luther, Mahatma, dead. 6-6 followed by 6 and 7. Build 'em, praise 'em, bury 'em, dead. I was born to be half a man with half a chance. My heart isn't half righteous, half is down and half a gram. Half those troubles and thoughts stay darker than a Rukai master plan. Sharper than glass shard, splinter and cinnamon. Irony could kill a man. He makes money when the music lands. Expand, pay me my cheese, rain down Parmesan. Followed by
Parmesan. How you doing? Just checking in. I don't think you could take this all in one blow. I think we have to give you a little break.
Okay. The graphics, the red and black with the white wording. And then I'm catching some words here, the 6-6, and then I'm trying not to focus on the darker things that he's saying in these videos and try to hear some enlightenment of some kind of. I'm not finding it.
Yep.
Shadow.
Cheese is the money.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. There's so much. Yeah, like he's able to put so much in it. Like,
and Parmesan. What's Parmesan? Less than cheese?
Right. Well, it works. I'm still processing everything that was said, but it does make sense. It is really about the world also. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel that's where it's going into a little bit more now, is really talking about like the world for sure and being mad at it.
Like, oh my God, make it stop. Make it stop.
All right, here we go.
Darker than a Rukai master plan. Sharper than glass shard, splinter and cinnamon. Irony could kill a man. He makes money when the music lands. Expand, pay me my cheese, rain down Parmesan. Followed by 7 whole sins for a self-made Armageddon. Sin 1, pride. Pride makes a man kill a man for his ego to survive. Sin 2, lust makes the grass look greener. Crucifies trust. Sin 3, gluttony. Humans consume and consume. Planet Earth gets a frontal lobotomy. 4, sloth. Rinse and repeat. Reruns, repeat. Time lost. Sin 5, envy. That's when one man's win is another man's frenzy. Sin 6, wrath, rage, vengeance, killers, psychopath. Sin 7, greed. Greed plants a seed that will destroy us all if we succumb to greed. If we take what we need and take more than we need, then our oceans will bleed. Still we feed and we feed and we sleep and repeat. Then we exile the shepherds and follow the sheep. We inherit the meat. We inherit this world that we bruise and we beat. We inherit this vanity, so because of creeds. Inherit the liars, the murderous thieves. One sin for every one day of the week.
Well, good thing. Okay, so don't do that to me again. Also, I can relate to the 7 sins because, you know, as you know, in recovery, Bonnie and I are in recovery, and we have to do a 4th step where we have to write down in our life from our past and what's going on in our lives today about all of the things that have affected us through the 7 daily sins that we have to take inventory on. And then we have a 5th step where we speak to our sponsors and we talk about these things and how they affect us. You know, all the 7 laid across. Are you're familiar with? You've done your step work, Bonnie. You've been sober for how long now?
15 years.
You call me old. So anyway, anyways, I can understand how my friend Danielle, who's also on the live tonight. Thank God she decided to join us one of these days.
Right.
She also made it a point that everyone in the world needs to do a 4th step. I think if everybody took the time to do a 4th step and focus on these 7 deadly sins and make sure see where we fall short and try to be better people and try to learn from that, I think that's a great thing. So as far as that video goes, I'm going to say it was very educational.
Well, maybe it's that process of taking an inventory, that whole video.
I'm going to take your word for it, sweetie, because that's what I got from it. Praise God.
I love it. Like I said, it's one of my favorites, and there's just so much for my brain to chew on. Like I could listen to it over and over and just catch new things. And I don't know, for me, I dig it. I really relate to it in so many ways. I was listening
to that in the street and I had some headphones on, I'd probably go to somebody and slap the shit out of them. Just because the music made me do it.
Right. Blame it on the music.
It was Ren. Ren made me do it.
Right. Ren has been really helpful in my own healing.
Really? How so?
Like coming across Hi Ren is what really and being able to relate with that back and forth in your mind and but still having hope. I needed that in that moment when I found that video. I was like, this is it. It just gave me hope that, I can't explain it, but there was just this idea that there's a moment of life can be hard and maybe even, I don't know, it just, for whatever reason, I got hope from it. And that made me really want to learn more about him and his work.
This going to confession work. Yeah, that's exactly what a 5th step is going to confession. But I would write it all down. All the people in the world that have heard you or that you felt like you've run across, write a chart on your, look up Google 4th step. And it'll help you make those. You'll be a bitch afterwards after you get it all out, but you'll definitely feel a hell of a lot better taking it to confession.
Well, and I think the magic is talking it to another human, because I think we can tell it to ourselves. We can write it down. We could even give it to God. But I think that there's something that happens also when we share it with another human being, because what I think that does is I think that saves us from the shame. And it allows us to walk around in the world a little more open and maybe with our head held high.
Yes. And there was something that my sponsor told me that, okay, Joanna says, absolutely. The big book is basically just a guide to get spiritually healthy. Yes. And I pray Ren used it because Lord Jesus. But he doesn't, he's now sober, isn't he? That's fantastic.
No,
I think
I don't think recovery is part of his story.
But
I don't. Well, he doesn't
part of his story, or that he doesn't use. Or
he mentioned when we watched the last video at the end, he said he had his last he stopped. He's not sober, but he definitely doesn't drink like he used to.
Okay.
I do recall him saying something about that, but going through the stuff that he's gone through in life, I don't know. I feel like, we happened to come across like 12 steps, or we needed to get sober or go through recovery to learn spiritually what we've learned and to gain strength. And not everybody has to do it that way. There's so many ways that we can come to understand ourselves more.
Therapists.
There's therapists. There's, I think life happens in a way that causes us to change,
I recommend everybody that's watching figure out what a fourth step is. Find someone that you can share that information with. So like my sponsor told me, now I have it and I'm going to carry that for you, and you don't have to carry that around with you anymore. And that was the best thing that had saved me. And because of that, I grew into my own loving self. I now love myself, because before I was like Ren, I was just going like a bat out of hell. So I can relate that way.
Carrie says Ren is a chosen healer. Thank you. I actually really needed to hear this. He started a big conversation. Definitely. And for me, I think the elements of him battling with mental health, with spiritual shit, with like the physical, like our body. I think it just speaks to all of the parts of ourselves. If you want to get religious, the mind, like this, the body, the spirit, and the, I don't know, whatever else. But like, I feel like he covers all those bases. Danielle says, I think you need to do an episode on the fourth step. Well,
sure. I think that's a great idea.
Right. Only after the first and second and third.
Right. We can't just do the fourth step. We got to do the whole 12. If we're going to do it, we're going to do a whole 12 and 12. No.
Do it in order.
Right.
Well, and I think that's the key is I think any of us would benefit to kind of just stop and look around and really take an assessment of our life.
Yes.
Before moving forward, or as we move forward, so that we can begin to have a different experience
and have those healing conversations. Yes.
Carrie's laughing at you.
She's laughing at you. She's
laughing at you.
Laughing with me, right?
I'm her favorite, remember?
No. She says she likes us both the same. Like,
I know. That's what she says publicly.
No, what she did say, two sisters that used to be misters. That's what she said.
Love that. I know, we have to get merch.
That,
we need merch. Sisters used to be misters.
Sisters who used to be misters.
Yes, that's our merch. We're going to have to give Carrie royalties.
Yes, Carrie, you get royalties on that one. We got one more video, right, Bonnie?
Yes, we do. So This next video is a duet with Chinchilla.
Okay.
What's that?
We love that. Who's Chinchilla?
Chinchilla is like another UK-based artist. She's super unique, and she has like this, her voice is just beautiful. And I really love this song. This all was done. This is also one of Ren's like kind of one take. So it kind of takes you through, how like with the tales, he kind of like walked and sung to you, and like as the story started to unfold.
Oh, okay. Like a lyrical
This kind
song.
of,
okay.
This has a little bit of that vibe to it, not to the same degree, but a little bit to it as well.
Okay, roll that tape.
She said, I really worried you'd take offense after I sent that.
No,
actually,
we loved it.
I wondered,
loved it.
I did wonder how you would respond, Daphne, but then when you were like, oh my God, that's great.
That is the cutest thing I've heard.
Yeah, well, and I think it just speaks to like our connection. I think once you're connected with someone, you can make those sorts of comments,
Yes.
Ren is the best out there. Yes, I would
Thank
agree.
you, James.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and do this one. It's called
With Chinchilla.
It's called Chalk Outline.
Okay. Is he still in his hospital gown?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. So this child loves that gown.
Well, and you can hear all the natural sounds.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Carrie, we shall see. Carrie says, I'm going to love this one.
Still here in this bed that I crawled in. I hope that I'm someone else in the morning. So take this one, wash it down and you'll be fine. Walk around in the floating chalk outline.
Oh, that's so good.
So it goes, let it be. In the gallows, balanced on my toes so I can breathe. But little by little, bit by bit, I push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, oh my, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my, oh my, erase ourselves.
Are you frozen or are you just...
No, I'm just looking at you because you were like, oh, I love this. Oh my God.
No, I do though. I do. Joanna says pretty voice, which I agree.
Thank you, Joanna. I love his voice. I do. I have to say I love his voice. When he sings, I really enjoy him. I understand what he's saying. And so far from this video, I can relate because I remember when I was little, I used to wake up and say, God, please let me be a girl. So I know what it's like to wake up and want to be someone else when your head just isn't right with the world. So yeah. I can understand that. And then, of course, the hormonal pills swallow it down. But where is this chalk outline trying to come in at? That's what I'm not. Where does can someone tell me what that is about?
I think part of it is like, I think it'll kind of get there, but I think, like with depression or, however way you want to label it, it can lead to, I think, really difficult things. So I don't know if that's where it's going with it or not, but I think, yeah. I love just his lyric choice, like that one where, go to bed and wake up somebody else.
Powerful for me.
He was rocking around half dead.
Okay, all right, Joanna. Okay, see, Joanna got this. Come on, Carrie and Joanna.
Yes.
And then because I know you come.
Yeah, and his like playing too is just so good.
Very talented.
It's like butter. All right.
I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, oh my, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my, oh my, erase ourselves in these chalk outlines.
Sertraline and a sip of serotonin. Don't cry, 'cause there's a pill for everything. Take this one, wash it down and you'll be fine. The feeling goes and you draw a chalk outline.
Like, I have to stop it. Sipping serotonin. Oh, It's just, I just love it. Joanna says, oh gosh, her too. Yes, she is off the chain.
You were right. She does have a voice like an angel. I'm really digging this. And those nails, woo, girlfriend, give me 2 snaps and circle.
Yeah, it's so good. All right, here we go. Did I do it wrong? Here we go. Sorry about that.
Sertraline and a sip of serotonin. Don't cry, 'cause there's a pill for everything. Take this one, wash it down and you'll be fine. The feeling goes and you draw a chalk outline.
So it goes, let it be. In the gallows, I'm balanced on my toes so I can breathe. But little by little, bit by bit, I push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, oh my, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my, oh my, erase ourselves. It's such a perfect day. Take it just in case. Take it just in case. I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change. All things.
I'm scared of being okay because all things change. Oh, so powerful. Sorry.
Well, I have to say, Carrie knows me better than you do, Bonnie, because Carrie knows I like this song. This is probably a beautiful duet. I'm the harmony is like gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, it's,
I also like the fact when she's saying pushing this down with for another addiction. Is that what did she say?
pushing it down, yeah, for a new habit or whatever.
Yeah, so that I can definitely relate. So I'm starting to think that Ren and Renegades, something connects you to this artist because there's a mutual connection. Something inside of you is connecting with these songs. I don't know where, huh?
It's our humanity.
It's your humanity. Is that
It's
what it is?
It's our humanity,
Our humanity.
because
Right.
it's a very diverse group of people. But I do think that Ren kind of opens up our humanity, and like vulnerability begets vulnerability. We match it, and so I think he's able to reveal his humanity in a way that anyone can relate to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely relating. And Danielle made a comment from the last. She said his true spirit is dead because he has to live in the image he's expected to. Is that what you're getting from this? Because maybe that's what he means when what is the white chalked out line. I guess that's kind of.
Well, yeah, I think that was very I think that's kind of like what he was talking about in the beginning.
Okay.
Even just that idea of waking up and wishing you were somebody different.
Okay.
Joanna says their voices give me the chills. How awesome it must be to have that gift. I'd be singing all day long.
Yes, especially in an acoustic place, Joanna, like in the hall, in a dank hallway somewhere.
I know, and I just feel like they match perfectly in their sound, but I think also in their the way that they sing and where they sing from.
Yes.
it's in the same space. It's narrative. It's like emotive. And it's just sounds.
She's definitely singing with her whole spirit.
Yes. And I'm not sure what this is related to, but our yes, including you, Daphne.
Okay. Danielle says, wearing white in this video feels to me that it depicts the purity in their being that they want to express but aren't allowed. And at the same time, it's the blankness. Very deep and very interesting, Miss Danielle Lloyd.
I know, she's deep. All right, I'll go back a little bit and we'll get started.
Just in case, baby, just in case. I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change, all things change. It's such a perfect day, it's a beautiful shade, it's a beautiful shade. I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change. But little by little, bit by bit, I'll push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, oh my, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my, oh my.
Erase ourselves in these chalk outlines.
Yeah, well, and I wonder, I think you can take it a lot of different ways, but I think the idea of like put on a great big smile, like to some degree, I feel them like taking themselves out, like dying, you know, like chalk outlines that police do when you're murdered or you're killed. And I think that might be interesting because I don't think they would do that in like the situation of a suicide. That really only happens with a murder. And I think that's a lot of kind of what Danielle was speaking to, is that idea that like having to be something you're not, like having to kill you in order to
fit in,
right? Or to be
chalked out line.
Yeah.
I'll have to review this one. Joanna says, I thought the outline was like the one the cops draw. That would be my thoughts as well, Joanna. Like, I know for a fact when I think of chalked out lines means that someone has died and you are drawing out the silhouette of someone that has been either murdered or passed away, I guess, in that way. Because you wouldn't just normally draw a chalked out line for somebody that just died naturally. It has to be for some type of, you know.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah.
Well, I have to say, I really enjoyed that. I think that I would love to hear them make another duet together and even probably hear some of her own stuff. Write that down.
Yeah, I'll write it down. I got it. Record it. No, actually, Amber had mentioned earlier that Chinchilla was going to be their suggestion for reaction. Her newest.
Amber, this was for you. I am on your page. See, I have to think of you subliminally because I know where y'all at. We right here.
And Ren does have another. I know there's at least one more song that he has with her. Okay. But yeah, maybe we can try to work that in for our next one. We're already at over an hour.
Yeah.
So we probably need to like.
Yeah. Well, tune in next time. Go ahead, Bonnie. Do it.
Do it. Join us in the next time.
Girl, bye. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We had such a great time. Bonnie and I are going to do a duet. No.
No. We just did.
We just
did.
But thank you for joining us. We had such a great time. I thoroughly enjoyed all of your suggestions that you're giving us. Next week, we're going to have some more. Bonnie's going to put some more great things out there. But join us again next Monday live, and you can take it from there, Bonnie.
All right. I think that's it. Love you all. Thanks for
love you. And that, so how do I say it?
From your sisters who used to be misters.
Yes, from your sisters who used to be misters. We love you until you can love yourselves. Here we go.
Bye-bye.
Bye.